my issue. Every time I start up my Dreamcast, it asks me to enter the date and time. Taking the Dreamcast apart is pretty easy. There's 4 Phillips screws holding the top cover on the system. If you flip the machine over, they're pretty easy to find at the 4 corners. This one requires that you remove the expansion module to get to it. On the Katana board that interfaces to the controllers, there's a rechargeable battery with tabs attached to it. I've already desoldered it from the board here, but you can see its indicator is BT1. First, touch the metal of the system to discharge any static electricity built up on your body. If you have an ESD ground strap, that's even better to use, but I didn't have one. First, you carefully remove the ribbon cable from the main control board, then remove the DC power for the fan. I had to use a set of angled pliers to avoid pulling on the wires. Needle nose pliers would also work, but I was being lazy. Here's the replacement battery. It's the same exact Panasonic ML-2020 3-volt rechargeable coin cell battery. Here you can see the 2 batteries side by side. When I didn't know what I was doing, I tried to remove the tabs from the battery before I realized from researching online that it had to be desoldered and that the replacement part would come with tabs already attached. First, I'm going to use some flux to remove the residual solder from the old battery from the board. This is water-soluble solder, so I cleaned it with an acid brush and a small amount of water. It's all I could find at Home Depot. I've since ordered a solder wick reel that I'll use for my next project. I'll clean this up later better with some isopropyl alcohol. Now I'm going to install the new battery. At first I didn't realize you have to bend the center tab to offset it to fit the PCB hole. Next, I used tinning flux and my rosin solder to attach the new battery to the PCB. Again, I cleaned the flux using a cheap, nearly useless acid brush I got from Home Depot. Now I'm going to clean up this mess with some isopropyl alcohol to dissolve any remaining water on the board and hopefully any other residual materials. I'm a newbie at soldering, but here's the results. It appears to have fused the tab leads to the board from my observations. Reinstallation just requires replacing the Katana board, connecting the ribbon cable, and installing the 4 screws that fasten the Katana board to the Dreamcast chassis. Make sure you move the fan wires out of the way first so that you don't screw down the board on top of it. Then attach the fan wires. Next, it's time to reinstall the case, which is pretty straightforward, and then reinstall the 4 screws on the bottom of the system. Here you can see that the system has remembered the date and time that I programmed into it after a reboot. Keep in mind that after installing the battery, I left the machine running idle for about 2 hours. This was because I read online that the battery only charges when the machine is running. Thanks for watching the video.